One of the most central understandings of the Christian faith is that Jesus is the Son of God. Much of Christianity hangs on that thought. If Jesus isn't the Son of God, then he's a man and he's sinful and he can't die for the sins of the world. He can only die for his own sin. He has to be the Son of God in order to be sin-free and therefore pay the price for the sins of others. Many other religions recognize Jesus as a great moral teacher or some kind of spiritual authority, but they don't believe that he is what he says he is, the Son of God.
Okay, Zach, I can admit it. Jesus was way ahead of his time, taking care of the poor and needy, loving each other as yourselves, all good stuff.
True, but you also have to see that he's the Son of God.
Well, people have been worshiping the Caesars or the cults of today. Someone's always claiming to be God.
Yeah, I agree.
Finally.
Except for the one time when it was actually true. The only disaster that happened when Jesus claimed to be God was his own death. There was no mass disasters or egomania. He just brought salvation.
But why is it so important to you that Jesus is the Son of God?
Well, because it's true. And if it is true, it changes everything.
Because Jesus is the Son of God, it answers so many big questions about the Christian faith. Jesus is God, loving the world unconditionally. Jesus is God taking responsibility for the fallen condition of mankind. Jesus is God not asking for his followers to do anything he hasn't done himself. Jesus is God providing a way for all people to come to heaven. Because he paid this price on the cross, it's one more reason why we believe Jesus and the Father have the right to say what is right and what is wrong in this world.
Okay, how does Jesus being the Son of God change everything?
Well, because Jesus is the Son of God. He's 100% human, and yet at the same time, he's 100% God, which means he's 100% right all the time, which means all other knowledge and wisdom pales in the light of his understanding.
Okay, I get it. I see why you push so hard. It's because if you're wrong, you've wasted your entire life.
Yeah, but if you're wrong, you've wasted your entire eternity.
And now you're just trying to scare me into believing.
Well, even if I could scare you into believing, you'd only be thanking me in about 60 years or so when we're standing in front of God.
Okay, Jesus, the great teacher, the legend, the great historical figure, those I can get behind. But the Son of God, how do I get there?
You can start by reading the book of John, and when you find yourself admiring his great moral teachings, ask yourself if this genius suddenly goes insane when he says, "Father, glorify your Son so I can glorify you." I think he's just a son asking his Father for help as he faces his greatest trial, the cross.
Jesus is the Son of God. It can't be said enough. It's the ultimate truth. That there's so much that goes into making a commitment to follow Jesus Christ. It's not just a commitment for what can God do for me. It's a commitment to follow him and trust in him through the toughest times of life, to be willing to suffer for the faith, but also to participate in the joy and the love and the forgiveness and the salvation. It's a crazy, difficult, wonderful package deal that all comes when an individual discovers that they believe in him and love him and want to follow him, regardless of the cost. That's what's made Christianity the greatest religion/faith system in the world. Over 2 billion today, but it has to be discovered personally and individually. And we pray that you'll find that same thing true in your heart.